Close of play of the fourth day of the second test match between England and India at Lord's sees, well, a really fascinatingly poised game here. India are 181 for 6, so they lead by 154 runs. They do have 4 wickets left, but they've also got this very long tail, of course. And a gripping day it's been, with England taking 3 quick wickets in their quest to bowl India out. Rahul for 5, Rohit Sharma for 21. They both fell to Mark Wood. Kohli made 20 for Sam Curran, had him caught behind with a lead on just 28. That was 55 for 3. Then this most stubborn partnership, extraordinary partnership between Pujara and Rahane. Pujara took 35 balls to get off the mark. Rahane similarly, and they dominated the whole afternoon. They batted from lunch till beyond tea together before Pujara finally got a really nasty ball from Mark Wood that bounced, took the glove, and he was caught by Bairstow at slip for 45 from 206 balls. The crowd were cheering when he faced a 100 ball. They cheered him more when he hit his first boundary. It was a remarkable innings, and he certainly did his job under the circumstances. Rahane went fairly soon after. Moeen had him caught behind for 61, and the prize wicket really was Jadeja, who's batted very well in this series so far. He's played particularly well with the tail end as well. Moeen bowled a beauty. The left hand at spun, hit his off stump, and he was bowled for 3. So the only danger sign for England really is Rishabh Pant, who remains on 14 not out. We all know what he's capable of doing. He could turn this match on its head, but he doesn't have much support. He's got Ishant Sharma at the moment, and he's got the other bowlers to come. So the lead 154. It's the last day tomorrow. There's 4 wickets in hand. There's Rishabh Pant at the crease. There's a new ball that's available. Mark Wood, I don't know if he's fit or not, because he damaged his shoulder diving in the field, all for the sake of 1 run down the boundary edge. You've seen those rather reckless dives from bowlers, and he immediately clutched his shoulder and he went off. I've got Michael Vaughan alongside me, got Deep Das Gupta on the other side. And let's start with Michael. Breathtaking day, wasn't it? And yet the afternoon was just sort of nothing happened really.
Well, I think we had everything, didn't we? We had the wickets in the morning session. I thought England were exceptional. The plan to get Rohit Sharma with that short ball theory, the 3 fielders on the boundary worked straight away. Sam Curran getting Virat Kohli, the 3 wickets in that morning session, and then in the afternoon you just had a wall. You had the Pujara wall that just arrived, and every run was cheered. The 100 balls had a standing ovation that he faced. 200 got another standing ovation. It's had pretty much everything. And I don't remember, I mean, we've had some great test matches, but to think that we're arriving on day 5 and the new ball's ready for England to take. They need 4 wickets. They're going to have to chase whatever they're having to chase. It's not going to be easy. India may get 20 more. They might get 50 more. They might get 100 more. You never know with Rishabh Pant. And then it's the prospect of the chase with an Indian seam bowler in attack with the likes of Shami and Bumrah, Siraj bowling from the pavilion end, where we've seen a bit of uneven bounce. That ball that got Pujara bounced off a length was a wonderful piece of bowling, but it was the pitch really. It just kind of reared up at him. And then you've got Jadeja. We've seen Moeen Ali bowl beautifully, and Jadeja, to all those England right-handers, he's going to be a real threat on this kind of wicket.
Deep, you enjoyed today?
Oh, loved it. Absolutely loved it. You had it's like the English weather, isn't it? You get everything. You get some sunshine, you get some rain, get breezy and cold, and bright sunshine as well.
Yeah, and I mean, it was an extraordinary start, really. I mean, what would you say? I mean, we talk about the Indian batting, but in fact, it's also quite unpredictable, isn't it? I mean, you have seen the 2 today. I mean, particularly Pujara had been in much form, and Rahane. They've come good today to an extent, but there's still a vulnerability about India's batting.
It is. I mean, and that's what we've been talking about. The fact that the middle order really hasn't fired, but has come good in terms of in the context of the game. The amount of time both Pujara and Ajinkya spent out there in the middle, that middle session that was so crucial. End of the day, they got one of them got a 50, the other a 45, but it was more like settling things down, and in the context of the game, I thought that was really good innings from both of them.
Pujara, I mean, we all know what he bats like. I mean, there are players who play like him. There are players who play like Rishabh Pant, and then there's Joe Root. There's all these different varieties of batsmen. Pujara is just a patient so-and-so, isn't he? Who goes about his business. He doesn't really bat in any other way. And in a way, it was a great opportunity for him today, and he hasn't been in very good form at all, just to play his own way without any talks of run rates, scoring rates and everything else. Just get out there, save the day, get out there and bat for as long as you like. 35 balls he got off the mark.
Yeah, I admire him. You know, the way that he plays is just the Pujara way. I think of recent times, he may have been trying to play a different way. And he may have been thinking that he has to score that little bit quicker. You know, on a normal day, you'd want him to score quicker than he scored today. But in the situation that his team were in, he just had to kind of nullify that middle session. Just bat time, knock the singles, get Rehani into a partnership. And both players are under pressure. You know, both players have been mentioned that they may lose their place in the side. Well, they've played well in a pressurised situation. You know, you'd like to have probably seen them be a bit more busy and a bit more active, but you know, from the situation that they walked out there to the situation that India find themselves in now, I mean, 154, it doesn't sound a great deal. And you look at the scenario tomorrow, 10 overs of Rishabh Pant, and he will score quickly, and that lead will then go to 180 to 200, and then you start looking at the overs that are coming down. If India about 15 overs, it then gives England around 72 overs to chase maybe 200, 210. They're going to have to score at 3 and over. 181 runs have been scored today. You know, so the wicket is at the kind of pitch that, you know, it's not easy to go flaying the ball to all parts. Fascinated to arrive tomorrow to see how it ends up, because, you know, it will get to a stage, and even chasing 155 now to win wouldn't be easy, because there is enough out there for the spinners, enough out there for the seamers when they're bowl consistent with pace to offer a little bit of doubt in the batter's mind. So we are in for an absolute gem of a last day here.
You talk about Pujara then,
yeah,
because and explain the pressure that he has been under.
Massive amounts of pressure, because for me the whole pressure came in because of his strike rate, which for me was a non-starter, because that's how he bats. And today, as you mentioned, Agus, that was the situation was absolutely perfect for someone like Pujara to bat the way he did. I'm so glad he did bat the way he did. He fell back on things that he's been doing over 80 odd test matches before this, and has been so successful, is being patient, just go out there and just keep batting. And I guess, again, that situation in the mid-session gave him that opportunity. And also, post-T, there was this sense of urgency as well. It wasn't just about just batting. After that, as in the third session, start of the post-T session, both Ajinkya and Pujara were looking to score a little more briskly, because they did realize there were another 15-20 odd overs with this oldish ball before the second new ball was due. So I think there was a lot of things happening, even though maybe the scoreboard wasn't moving as quickly as we would have expected. But having said that, you know what, I still think India is good 20-25 runs short because Ashwin's not there. Had Ashwin been playing, and as Michael mentioned, I would have said even 150 would have been extremely challenging. But because you're only playing in with one spinner and you don't have any other spinning option at all, can be a little, I'd say, still India 20 runs short from being competitive.
Kohli's dismissal, that was one of the high points of the day, not least because of Sam Curran's celebrations. And actually, it was, I thought, a really good piece of bowling, because the ball before, which happened to be the last ball of an over, swung into him sharply. There's a peel for leg before wicket. It was given not out, quite rightly so, because it was just going over. But Kohli had an over to dwell on that ball. And so the first ball, the next over, you could see Sam Curran turn the shine around. It was the one that went across him, and he was feeling there, looking for that swing. We know he's been a bit uncertain outside that off stump in this series so far. Nick, and he's gone for 20. I think Curran deserves a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, good, really good bowling. Not good batting. No. You know, Virat Kohli's a better player than that. You know, when he's had his success in English conditions, he's known exactly where his off stump is. He triggers movement, goes over to off stump, and he knows where it is. He leaves, and he lets the ball come to him. So far in this series, I just wonder whether he's lost his off stump, because he's going over quite a long way, and his head's going with it. And because of that, I think he thinks his off stump is probably around 4th and 5th stump line. He needs to get back into alignment, because, you know, that was wide.
Yes, it was.
You know, it was wide, and he played at a wide ball from the pavilion end from, I think it was Ollie Stone. It was a real wide delivery. You're thinking, oh, that's exactly where England want you to be, Virat. You know, they're going to bowl 5th stump, they're going to bowl full of length, and they want him to throw his hands at the ball as he did today. So I think he's got an alignment problem which he can easily iron out. You can just get the videos out and just get that sorted pretty quickly, because he actually shaped up really well today. You know, it looked like his movements were good in terms of looking to hit the ball in the right areas. It's just that alignment. He needs to find out where that off stump is, and once he does that, he'll score runs in this series.
But in the meantime, it's be starting to gnaw away at him, won't it? Because I mean, Virat Kohli doesn't. You think he might score a score by now.
True, but I'm completely in sync with what Michael just mentioned. I think he's moving too much. If you look back at his videos from 2018, you would see his trigger movement not as exaggerated as it is right now. His initial trigger movements from leg stump all the way to the off stump, and obviously when you're moving that much, chances are your head's moving that way as well, and that's the reason maybe he's falling over. His head's falling over a bit. And also, I mean, just quickly mention about that Sam Curran delivery. I mean, he also came over the wicket, and as soon as a left-arm seamer comes over the wicket, you open up a bit, right? So his left foot was a little open, so that would mean his left foot wouldn't go as much across, right? And I think when you make those adjustments physically, you also need to make it mentally, because you do realize that, you know what, now my foot won't go to the fourth stump or fifth stump, and I might not be able to reach that ball because of that open stance. And unfortunately, I don't think he made that mental change when he made that technical change against Sam Curran coming over the wicket.
Yeah, interesting. Mark Wood, I mean, the amount of times you see bowlers dashing out into the outfield, hurtling along, diving full length, and each time it happens you go, oh gosh, I hope that, whoever it is, whatever team, I hope they get up all right. And there's that case of Mark Wood to save one run. Appears to have injured his shoulder. I mean, it doesn't look to have been really badly injured, but he had to go off. He's been strapped. He didn't bowl. He went off again. It's interesting talking to Mark Ramprakash, who's obviously come quite recently from the England dressing room as a batting coach, and he seemed to suggest there's not the expectation on bowlers to do this. I mean, they're not told to go and do it. It's just so dangerous.
It's just their instinct. They're competitive. They're out in the middle. It's a tight game. You're chasing everything. I looked at the role. It didn't look too threatening, and the fact that the physio came and I could see him moving his arm. I think in New Zealand one year I subflexed my shoulder, and you can't move. You literally have to go straight off the field. You can't lift your arm up. So the fact that he could lift his arm up is a positive. England, I mean, you're looking at the quick bowling stock, and the last bowler that England need to get injured is Mark Wood when Ollie Stone's not around.
Absolutely.
Jofra Archer. So I think if you're Chris Silverwood, you possibly need to sit Mark in a corner and say, look, if that ball's going to the boundary, and just let it go.
Just let it go.
We actually need you fit for the remainder of this year and beyond, please.
So let's look ahead to tomorrow then, because it really is so mouth-watering. Are you taking the new ball immediately, or are you I'll just offer you the alternative of being remotely worried about what Punt could do to it, he could give it a crack. I mean, he'll give everything a crack, won't he? But I mean, you just could try and keep him away from the strike, go at the lower orders, just give him a single.
Rishabh could hit the spinner, but with the fields that you can get set, you should be able to restrict his boundaries really, unless he's going to try and take you on and take the boundary riders on, which is a massive risk. With someone like Ishant Sharma, he will fancy facing spin. It's like as a tail end. He will fancy facing 20 balls of spin and just kind of occupying the crease and working the odd single here or there, getting the odd two as he did tonight. When you're facing seam, and pace, someone like Jimmy Anderson has it in him tomorrow morning to blow away this Indian team. England could be chasing 160. You get Rishabh Pant in the first over, again it's possible with a new ball. England could potentially be chasing 160, 165. If they allow Pant to get in or have that 30-40 minute period, well, that lead will get up to 200. At the minute I have England as favourites. If it goes to beyond 200, I'm going to start thinking that India are going to be favourites. That first 30 minutes for me will be the game of cricket, whoever wins or loses, and it's going to be whoever wins that. England get the wickets, Rishabh stays around. I honestly think that is going to be the game in the morning.
They have gambled with this batting lineup, really, haven't they? I mean, they could have played Ashwin. That would have given them another place down the order. Played two spinners, but they clearly wanted to play their battery of quick bowlers, and none of them can bat.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you just needed Ashwin for his bowling. Forget he contributes with a bat or not. On a surface like this, you would want him, even first innings, from day two onwards. I'm not saying they were stern, but at least was something for the spinners. And obviously, day 4, day 5, the ball's turning a bit. Moin's done really well. Joe Root's done really well. He's done the ball as well. So yeah, you're going to miss him. But again, with Rishabh, the thing is, if Ishant can hang around for a while, and then Rishabh obviously will play his shots, and you're looking at 30 runs from here on, and then things will start changing a bit. And as Michael mentioned, and straight away for Rishabh will be more defensive field. But Rishabh still has that ability of playing those unorthodox shots, like the ramp shot or the reverse ramp that he played at Chennai. It'll be difficult to stop him from getting boundaries. Obviously, he can get out playing those boundaries, though.
And did you expect him to come out and play his natural game again? I mean, it's a bit of a gamble.
When does he not?
Well, I don't know. Well, when you're only leading by 154,
no, he will be given a licence.
Yeah.
Absolutely should be. Half an hour of Rishabh Pant and India are winning the game. You would say. Another 30-40 runs from this Indian batting lineup. It's going to make it a very challenging chase. For England, I have to say I adore Rishabh Pant. The way he waited to bat, he was just lying on the sofa, laughing and joking. He strolled out first ball, Mark Wood pull shot. Thanks for coming, a couple there. He's a fantastic cricketer for all formats of the game, but particularly the Test game. We need characters like that.